But yeah, that was like your first unfair.
Bitch! What's up?
Welcome to my channel. What's up, guys? I'm Sebastian. I'm here with Nate Schmidt.io.
Oh yeah, hit that plug. NateSchmidt.io.
So Nate, I clickbaited everyone into this video, so let's get right into the good stuff before they click off.
Oh, what number is it?
97,000 in 1 month.
Oh yeah, something like that.
So you did make 97,000 in a month.
Yeah, well,
Not profit, but revenue.
yeah. Let's be honest. Yeah, no, that was revenue.
Okay. So
Profit.
what's your product and where are you advertising?
I don't know exactly. So exact strategy. Here's my URL now. Yeah. So profit was probably about 25-ish% of that. That's pretty much what it hovers at. So
Okay. Cool.
do the math there.
25% of 97,000. Cool. What month was it?
That was July.
Okay.
That was July. We scaled it down a little bit since then. And it's pretty interesting. We can go into some of this too. We're trying to make it so that we make more of our money on the back end instead of the front end.
What do you mean by back end? Like emails?
Back end is,
upsells?
yeah. So the back end is anything after a customer's first purchase is the back end.
Okay.
So anytime a customer buys from you more than once.
Okay, so you want repeat customers too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I think that most people are going to click on this video out of curiosity and then want to gain some sort of knowledge. So I think that most people will find value if you told them how you got there. So how long have you been dropshipping?
I started trying in January of this year.
This year.
Yeah.
So later than I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what did you start in like October?
Yeah, like the end of last year. So how long did it take you to see your first successful month?
I think I was profitable in February. So I built the first store in January, made like 3 or 4 sales, and it did not work out very well. So I shut that one down and then built a new one in February, and that started working. And then March was really when I started to figure out how to scale with Facebook, and then from there it's just kind of gone up.
Wait, was your first product ever profitable?
No.
Okay, so what was? Do you mind giving away your first product? What was it?
Oh, the one that failed?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was music festival accessories. So I was trying to sell like necklaces, bracelets.
Like rave people?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
to girls. And I found out, I think that I could probably make that work now, but I don't think that's a good niche because the people in that niche, like it's broke college girls. They don't have money.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to sell to them than it is to, say, someone who actually has a job, is older, and has a little bit of disposable income.
But they are passionate about the raves, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I
they
thought it
do
was a good
spend
idea.
money there because I know a
Yeah.
lot of people that do spend a lot of money, and rave is a good
Yeah.
niche. So would you say that you got lucky finding your first successful product or not? 'Cause
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You're not gonna lie.
Oh, no,
You didn't buy
I
my
won't lie at
course?
all. No. I will tell you exactly how it happened is, so at the time I was working at a pizza place. I was delivering pizza. And I literally went to work one day, and this is, when I was starting drop shipping, I was trying to figure it out because in January is also when I dropped out of college. So actually I dropped out of college the day I made my first sale on that store that failed, because I was just like, all right, if I can figure this out in like 2-3 weeks and I can at least make a sale, it might not be profitable, but if I can make a sale, then I can make a living off this. So dropped out in January. Oh my God. Oh, it's my mom.
You better answer.
Should I answer? Hey mom, I'm filming a YouTube video. Can I call you back? I was delivering pizza after I dropped out to just literally like pay my rent and to have money to spend on Facebook ads. And I went to work one day and one of my coworkers was wearing something that was like pretty cool, and it like stood out to me, and I was like, I wonder if I could sell that. So I went on AliExpress, and then I was like, oh shit, this is actually on AliExpress. This looks like a good product. Let's try it out. So I went home that night. I think I got off work at like 10:30 or 11, and then I got home at like 11:30, and I stayed up until like 3 or 4 building out that store. And then I started running ads, and I made a sale. I made my first sale in that store within the first week. And then I was probably spending like between $5 and like $15 a day on Facebook ads and getting like 1 or 2, maybe 3 sales on a good day. And then I had just this sort of epiphany where I was like, wait, if I just spend more money on Facebook, I'll probably get more sales. And I know that sounds like really stupid and really basic, but it took me a while to figure that out. So I started spending more money on Facebook, trying to scale my ad sets, and it didn't go super smoothly, at first at least. But, over time I was able to kind of figure it out, and yeah, I was able to scale it up to some pretty decent numbers, I think.
97K in a month.
Yeah, gonna do more than that November. But
Yeah, you think that you'll cross like 150 at least?
yeah, I think we can do 150 with Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Christmas coming up and all that.
Okay, so a lot of people are going to be watching this and they're going to be saying they're going to have this subconscious, maybe mildly conscious belief that you're different than them. Why do you think that you're successful when other people aren't? Why do you think that you got it so quickly but other people
I mean,
don't?
honestly,
Because me and you both got it quickly.
Yeah.
So most people don't. Like a lot of my other friends, a lot of our friends in general, I think just take years. But I was successful my first month.
Yeah.
And obviously you were. Like,
no, I mean, I'll tell you
insanely
why.
Successful.
It's because I dropped out of school. And I basically made a deal with my parents that if I could figure out how to support myself, making money online, then I wouldn't have to finish college. But if I couldn't, then I'd have to go back. And I really didn't want to finish college. I did not want to, graduate. I didn't want to get a job. I didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I didn't want to do any of that. So it was really just out of necessity. I had a hard date. Like there was a hard date where the enrollment period for the next semester was ending, and I had to enroll by then if I couldn't support myself. Okay. So I had a hard deadline, and I literally had a countdown on my phone that was my background, mm-hmm. and it said you have whatever 89 days to make. My initial goal was to make $800 a week. I figured that if I could make $800 a week, that would be just enough to be able to support myself, get a shitty apartment, barely, probably be eating ramen, but I wouldn't have to go back to school.
Yeah.
So that's honestly why I had that massive sense of urgency. Like I literally just backed myself into a corner, and I don't think that would work for everyone, but if you have that drive and you really, 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 really want it, I would say that tips for beginners, I guess, is like if you want to get into it now, it's harder now than it was a year ago. So you're gonna have to put in a little bit more effort. It's entirely possible, and if it being hard is a reason for you not to do it, then don't even bother. Because making a decent amount of money, making a full-time or even a part-time income online, it's hard, but it's 100% worth it. So I would say my tips for beginners would be to find products that are working for other people that are selling. Use Facebook, go through and look, and now you have the info and ads tab, and you can see what ads people are running and what they're selling and what's working, and then take that and then niche it down specifically and sell it to a specific group of people and market it to them and make them feel like it's for them. You're not selling iPhone cases, you're selling iPhone cases to, who knows, a very specific draft lovers. I've used that example before. People who really love drafts, something like that, something very specific where you take a product that's already working and then you niche it down and get very specific and sell it to a specific group of people and market it to them and make them feel like it's for them.
So did you have any doubts that this was all fake when you started?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So who did you look up to then? When you were going through it, you're like, all right, well, he's doing it, I can do it too.
Really, I kind of had a mentor. His name's James Holt, and he's been dropshipping, and he doesn't do a lot of it anymore, but he figured it out, and he had been making money online for 3 years or something. So he knew what he was doing, and he wanted to see if what he was doing with dropshipping would work for other people, because he wanted to make a course and sell a course. Who doesn't, right? So he wanted to figure that out, and it was literally just by happenstance that I messaged him on Twitter, because I was also trying to grow my personal brand on Twitter at the time, and I think he had an account with 2,000 followers or something, and I DM'd him and I was like, hey, can you retweet this or whatever, just being a dickhead asking for retweets. And then we just got to talking, and he explained to me what he did, and just kind of went from there, and he was able to help me out, and I was able to get insights from him. Other than that, I would say I definitely watched your YouTube videos when I was starting, Hayden Bowles and Tristan Broughton. I think those are the main guys that I was learning from.
Who helped you the most?
James.
And then? You better say my name.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
See, you took a little bit of a different approach than I like, because I was trying to go straight into Facebook, and no one back then, people weren't recommending to go straight into Facebook. People were recommending Instagram influencers.
Start with Instagram.
Yeah, which nowadays I think it's a little bit less of that, because influencers don't work as well as they used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say, y'all helped me out immensely, honestly.
Okay.
The amount of content on YouTube, the amount of free information that you can get if you're just actually willing to, take the time to just watch YouTube videos and take notes and actually learn, it's insane.
Yeah, you could definitely be successful with just YouTube videos.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't buy a course until I was already making money.
Uh,
So let's try to bring like more I kind of want people to be more aware of how it is. So would you say it's easy? Because it is easy, but it's not easy. You know where I'm coming from when I say that, right?
It's simple, but it's not easy. most
So
of the time.
why is it not easy, but why is it simple in your opinion?
It's simple because there's not a lot of moving parts. I mean, what other business can you start that you can make this much money basically with like zero startup costs? Like not a whole lot of them.
Right.
And the steps are pretty simple. I mean, if you watch the YouTube videos, you know, maybe you bought a course or whatever, like you probably know what to do. The steps are pretty simple. You know, you find a product, you know, put it on a store and you market it. Like, I mean, oversimplifying it, but that's the basic process, right? So it's very simple, but it's not easy because it doesn't work every time. It's not just you're not gonna throw up a store your first time as a beginner, you know, pick a product and it's automatically gonna be a winner and you're just gonna start raining money from the sky. Like very, very rarely does it work like that.
Yeah.
So it's simple, it's not easy, and I think the biggest thing that separates people who actually succeed and people who fail is people who just don't give up. Like it's cliche, but there are people who I know who have failed 3 or 4 stores and kept going, and the 5th one worked.
Yeah.
And it took them, you know, hundreds or thousands of dollars and like hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
But they didn't give up and they kept going at it because they knew that they could make it work, and they did.
Because at some point you keep failing, and then once you learn what you're failing at, you won't do it again.
Yep.
Like at some point, if you keep failing and learning what not to do, you'll eventually run into like some sort of success. Or
Exactly.
like you can't fail forever. Like unless you're insane and you're doing the same thing over and over again. But if you're failing and then you're changing something and then failing and then changing something, and you're like, wait, hold up, something was different now. This worked a little bit better. As long as you keep doing that, like. At some point, you will like eventually become like a professional Facebook marketer. Like even if it takes you 3 years.
And that's what I tell people is that you're not necessarily trying to find what works. You're trying to eliminate what doesn't.
Yeah.
And just by default, you do that enough, you're eventually going to stumble upon something that works.
You learn more about failing than you do about succeeding.
Oh, 100%. You don't learn shit from when you succeed.
You just throw something up and then it works and you're like, wait, hold up, how? But if you fail, you're like, okay, this doesn't work. Fail again. Okay, this doesn't work. Fail again. Okay, this doesn't work. And you can just make a mental note.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's so important to just, I don't think a lot of people, especially beginners, understand just how much testing successful dropshippers do. I mean, they're testing literally everything. I mean, like so many different products, so many different prices, so many different ad copies, so many different pictures. I mean,
Matthew has like 10 stores.
There's so many different things, and just a lot of people just, you know, they think that I think they just think that it's just gonna work like the first time, and it's probably not.
Yeah, you just got pretty lucky with that product.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first one it didn't work, but yeah, I got lucky with that, and it started working, and then.
So you didn't see anybody else selling that product. You were just like, hey, that's cool. I want to sell it.
Yeah, no, I didn't see anyone else at the time. There's more people selling that kind of thing now, but at the time there were only 1 or 2 stores selling it.
That's weird because that's kind of what I go against on my channel. I always go against find something that's already selling really well and sell it.
I mean, honestly, I think that's probably better advice
For the beginners, I would say.
It's just there's just so many different ways that it could work, and you're not going to find out what works for you, like what works for him. Me and Sebastian have honestly very, very different strategies when it comes to dropshipping, but both of ours work.
Yeah.
And you just got to figure out what that is for you.
I think everybody has like something different that they do.
Absolutely.
That's why, yeah. All right then. Well, you have a pretty big Twitter page, right? How many followers do you have? Like 16?
Now like 14,000. Yeah.
So I'll link his Twitter in the description. He's really good at. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that you're good at copywriting. That's an angle that most people don't even talk about on YouTube at all. What is copywriting?
Yeah. That's like, we should have led with that, bro. That's honestly my favorite thing to talk about. So I think that's like a big part of the reason that I was able to make it work so fast is because before I got into dropshipping, I was trying to do something called freelance copywriting. And I wasn't trying, I mean, I was actually doing it. I was probably making like 2 or 3 grand a month doing that. So basically what that is copy is words that sell. So anytime you see a Facebook ad, for example, or anytime you see a product description, or even like a billboard when you're driving, there's words on that and it's in an advertisement, and someone was paid decent money to craft those words very intentionally to be the most persuasive that they could possibly be. Basically to move you to take action to buy something. So if you're good at that, if you know how to write words that resonate with people, that are persuasive and that move them to take action, then companies will pay you because what you do directly makes them more money. So that's kind of how I started, and that was a huge advantage that it's actually really interesting because it's the completely opposite side of what most successful dropshippers, at least that I know, the background that they came from. A lot of them came from like Instagram and branding and content and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I came from the complete opposite side of just strictly writing words that sell.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that was a huge advantage for me because when you have that skill, I say it like this: it's honestly hard to fail, because if you know how to sell someone something, if you know what to say to get them to buy from you, then it's going to be a lot easier than if you don't. And that goes for pretty much anything.
Shut up, Shopify.
Is that mine?
No, that's mine.
No, that was mine, bitch.
Oh, it was mine too. I'll leave that in the video. That's funny. But yeah, that was like your first unfair.
Bitch!
How much did you just make? Like $100?
Yeah, 90.
Okay, so guys, make sure you go follow him on Twitter. You could get a better understanding of copywriting if you want to get good at it. His tweets are crafted pretty well. And then other than that, if you guys want to see Nate back on the channel, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. And since it's his first time and we are a very engaged, strong channel, why don't you guys leave a like down below and get this video to 2,000 likes for Nate, because he's a genius.
2,069.
2,069 likes
Please.
or more.
Yeah.
But we're very engaged, so I know you guys can hit that. So make sure you click that like button and leave a comment down below for a video suggestion, or if you have any questions for Nate, maybe he can go on my comments and answer them.
Yeah.
If you guys want to know.
Yeah, I can do that for sure.
Talk to some people on the channel.
Yeah, and if you guys want to learn more about like copywriting and sales and marketing, just online business stuff, go through to my Twitter and then get on my email list. The link is in the bio of my Twitter. I emailed. Yeah, fuck yeah, shameless plug. It's fucking useful. I email daily, and I think there's some good stuff in there. I think you guys will like it.
All right, guys. Until then, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for all tuning in. Thank you, Nate, for joining.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys next time.